guys, my name is Jisu and I'm a TA for the Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center, sponsored by Cancer STEM program, which is part of the USC Medical STEM program. I typically teach second grader students at Alexander Science Center here in Los Angeles, and today I'll be teaching you all about microscopes and how you can use them in laboratories. So what is a microscope? A microscope is a tool used by scientists to see things that are too small for your naked eye. When something is so small that you can only see it with a microscope, it is called microscopic. So what exactly is a microscope and how does it work? It basically is like a super-powered magnifying glass that zooms into microscopic things so you can see them clearly. A microscope has many different parts that can help us see small things. One important piece is called the stage, which is where our specimen rests. We then look through the eyepiece to see the microscopic specimen up close. And on the right, you can see the stage and the eyepiece. So what do we look at with microscopes? Microscopes are used to see things such as cells, bacteria, and microorganisms. And what do all of these have in common? Well, all three of these things are microscopic, which means that they can only be seen through a microscope because they're so small. When using a microscope, we use different magnifications to look at the microscopic specimens because not every specimen is the same size. There are some that are 100 times smaller than others, which is pretty crazy. So how do we use a microscope? First, we place the specimen onto the slide, and we place the slide on the stage of the microscope. And the stage is basically where light can pass through, and this light lets you see the specimen while you're using it and while you're observing it through the eyepiece. And just like a camera, you need to focus on the specimen, so you use something called a knob to adjust your view of the specimen. And on the right, you can see the knob at the bottom, the stage, the slide on which you put the specimen on and then place on the stage, and the eyepiece where you can view the specimen. So just to clarify, what is magnification? Magnification is used to make an object appear much larger than it is in real life. When using a microscope, you use precise magnifications to make specimens look larger than they really are. If you use 40 times magnification, that means you are seeing something 40 times bigger than it actually is. So what are some things you might look at under a microscope? Well, here are some things you might look at. On the left, we have a flu virus. In the middle, we have an amoeba. And on the right, we have some cheek cells, which is pretty awesome. And lastly, our scientist highlight of the week are Zacharia Jansen and his father, Hans Lopez. They were both Dutch glassmakers who created the very first microscope in 1950. Now today, microscopes are used daily by scientists to view very small objects and organisms, such as bacteria and human cells. And that was our short lesson on microscopes this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this was super informative, and we'll see you next week. Bye.